can do that too. You can start. Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay right there.
Ariana, round of
Ariana, what grade are you in? First grade. Wow, you are really brave. That's hard to do that in front of this many people. You did a fantastic job. Who's your teacher? Okay, and what's your favorite thing about school? Oh, wow, all right, I love you. I'm going to give you a certificate that your family may want to put on their fridge or wherever you'd like to put it. That is for you. And then a really fun little squishy star. Thank you so much for coming, and thanks to your family for bringing you out tonight. Awesome. Thank you so much. You are welcome to stay and welcome to go, whatever you want to do. That's fine. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you, Ariana. You did a great job. It's amazing. I couldn't have done that in first grade or 12th grade. Let's see. I'll ask if there's anyone who would like to make a public comment at the microphone at this time. No, it's okay. Great. Then I'll have minutes up for review. I'll ask for motions, please. Megan and Amy, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. And warrants, Beth and or Amy?
Can I start before I make the motion? I just want to thank Matt and your entire team. I have been reading these warrants for a very long time, and you guys do such a good job of labeling them and making what, like the categories, it gets harder and harder every single time I do come up with a question, which is just a reflection of how great of a job you guys do with this. So I would like to make a motion to accept the warrants.
Great. Thank you. Agreed. Okay. Questions or comments? All in favor? There carries unanimously. Also, thank you. Taryn, you are up.
Awesome. Alright, so to start off, we have our NHS and trauma reductions this past week, in which we had the opportunity to hear from musicians and soloists for the trauma reduction and the NHS one as well, and introducing the new juniors that have made it in, which was kind of interesting because there's a lot more, so we had some people cycling through to give more than one envelope. And then the NHS also was seeing another blood drive that we usually do in the spring that will be coming up soon. And some of our art students had their pieces of art showcased in another art show that was in the same place as it usually is in the upper atrium, which is really interesting to see because you just have everyone's on display where you can showcase all the different pieces of work that they've worked on throughout the year and put a lot of effort into. So that's been an opportunity to see. And then our Footloose musical just went this past Friday night to the Stars of Tomorrow showcase, in which they got to perform a little snippet of the show, which is also fun to see other schools and their shows in the area, because there is, I believe, it was either 39 or 45 schools. I can't remember which one, but a lot of schools that were part of this Stars of Tomorrow this year, and so being able to see that was an opportunity for them as well. And of course, we have our sports seasons or the normal sports season coming to an end and heading and getting ready for sectionals. And we've had our senior nights, I know for lacrosse, both boys and girls had theirs, and the others are also having theirs as well, including track, they have theirs as well. And so those are just winding down a little bit and almost gearing up as well at the same time. And then of course AP tests and also IB tests, which we had right before as well. And those are going how they usually do. Pretty stressful for everyone, but we're getting through it. But yeah, that's what I have for now.
Great, thank you. So we routinely have wonderful representatives to the Board of Education. The student government sends forth one student every year, and we have been just incredibly lucky to have the finest. And Taryn, once again, is the finest. So our students typically shine in academics. Are you not shining in academics? Oh! and music. And, you know, in Taryn's case, she adds poise and presence at the microphone, which I think is no small feat. Being up here with us, typically on budget presentation night, we would look like Taryn's mom. We would be wearing red, sporting our school colors, proud of our cherry and gray. You probably didn't notice, but we all showed up in blue and white tonight to honor Taryn's new school colors. Taryn will be attending BYU in the fall, and we are just incredibly proud of her. So we just wanted to pick up my little preschool trick and try to dye these carnations. It sort of worked. I'm not a Pinterest girl. Thank you so much for everything.
So it's over, I guess, to my part of the report, which is also a little bit about Taryn. So, you know, I would just say in my 7 years in this seat, we've had a lot of great students in this role, and Taryn, you rank right up there near the top, because I've always loved when you come to these meetings and the bits that you share. It's like the perfect length, the perfect amount, the perfect insight, the perfect mixture of, you know, whether it's academics or extracurriculars or clubs or theater or the arts. It's just, you always hit that amount perfectly, and I appreciate that about you. And I did want to share, because you're another first, right? Another first here. We have a picture on the screen. I believe you're the first female that we've ever had that's graduating with an Eagle Scout honor. And so that was brought to my attention. I couldn't help but have to acknowledge that. What a great accomplishment. I actually worked with one of your brothers around his project in my first year here. And so when I heard about this, I thought, wow, well, full circle. And so kind of digging into what you did for your Eagle Scout project, because I always like to know, you created a disc golf course.
I did, yes.
And you don't play disc golf?
No, I do. I love Frisbee though. So
You like a Frisbee, all right. So talk to us a little bit about the project. Why'd you pick it, and what the process looked like?
So it is at our church's camp on Seneca Lake, and it is a camp that I've attended in my past and been able to be a counselor at as well. And they have a lot of open field and space, and it's been something, a kind of an idea that they've been interested in having. And so my dad helped me get in touch with some other people in the area and within our church that have more expertise in disc golf and know how it works, and are people that would be good to consult with on building it. So I met with them, and we mapped out the course and went through a bunch of different layouts, and then we just built it. Yeah. And it was nice because all of our work days, because I've done it, it was throughout this winter and going into spring, they were all the best days. So.
Nice, good timing. I want to make sure I have this right. You also enlisted the help of your siblings, brothers, 2 sisters, and even grandma?
Yes, she also helped as well.
With shoveling gravel, moving gravel, right? Like some gravel. Okay. And then I also have 188 service hours it took you and your team. 188 hours. That's really impressive. You know, I've had the honor of attending some Eagle Scout ceremonies for students in the past. Actually, Dr. Schneider's nephew was attended in my previous district. And it's such a great honor to be able to achieve that. And it's not just handed out. You truly did achieve it. And so whether it's our student representative to the board, whether it's on the stage for our musicals, competing on our athletic field, in the classrooms, in our music program, no matter what you've done it with class and really represented our school and your family to the utmost. And just wanted to thank you for all of that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And Chris and Heidi, I know it's the season of blasts, and it's the season of blasts with your last, and we want to thank you too for everything that you've done for our district. It's been a pleasure. So nice to see you here tonight. I know we'll get a few more opportunities, but thanks for letting Tara join us, and congratulations to you too. She's represented us really well.
Was it more pressure, Taryn, with your parents here, or?
No, I thought, I don't know, I didn't think they were coming for this.
I don't know what they're here for, but now
Now that we don't have students, we are gonna fund the budget every day. But I will say, we probably made the most of our tax dollars than any of the federal.
Well done.
You sure did. I have one more.
Please.
Okay, well,
We're up to you. Go.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
please.
sorry. So my 2 things is just to recognize Taryn, and then to recognize student government. I know we have Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Fisher here with some student government students, and certainly Mrs. Logue's here too for a variety of reasons. But I received an email. Let me pull this up. I have a lot of open slides here. Let's see when this was. Not too long ago. In April, middle of April, just congratulations to our Canandaigua Academy student government on being selected the 2024 National Council of Excellence. And so this was something that came from the state organization recognizing our student government as a National Council of Excellence. I shared this news with the board and I took a screenshot of that recognition, but I thought you can talk about it way better than I can, so why don't we invite you to the board? I know you have a presentation, I believe, right? That some of our advisors and students might want to go through for our board, and then ask some questions, because these are really impressive students that I wanted to showcase.
You guys ready for the show?
You guys ready?
You ready? Okay. I'll start it for you, okay?
Alright, so,
Does it go?
yeah.
It is a video.
Okay, so
So
stop
we'll
it,
just
stop
stop
it.
it.
So as you guys see, this is for student government, and this is a recap for things that we've done this year, which a lot of them are things that we usually do each year as well, and some new things, because we've had a great group of people that have been wonderful in bringing up the things that they want to contribute to our school and to having. Alright, to start out, we have our homecoming pep rally and spirit weeks that we do. And so homecoming week is planned by student government along with the help of other classes if we need it. And we play in the pep rally and the games that happen there, and the spirit week as well, and the different things that go throughout that week is a fun opportunity for us to be able to plan. And we even start our planning in the summer to be able to get a head start on that, because of course it comes up pretty quickly. And it's probably one of my favorite parts of planning in student government, because it's the part that everyone likes the most. Next, we have our CA Bowl, normally known as the Powder Puff, in which is a tradition which we kind of picked up again last year after not doing it for a little bit. But we have the juniors against the seniors, and those we have on the field and then also on the sidelines cheering and kind of switching that up a bit. And it's a fun opportunity for our people to get together and have kind of a mini rivalry. If that's not already what we already do, like the pep rally and stuff, but it's just another way that we can get steered up, and the money goes into goes for the Special Olympics, and so whatever we raise from this event goes to that. And then we have our volunteer work with the VA in Ferris Hills, and we've had the opportunity to visit the VA and have some of our students go and be able to spend time with those there, and we've been able to run a fundraiser or a drive for home goods and write cards and just kind of get to interact with them a fair amount, and as well as with Ferris Hills and being able to spend time with the residents there and just.
So now I'm going to take over. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Loblaw. I'm the parliamentarian of our student government, as well as the vice president of the New York State Council Leadership and Student Activities. So NYSCLSA is our acronym of our state's student-wide organization, and our Canandaigua student government has been attending these conferences that are held yearly for a very long time. Mrs. Biddle, who was our former advisor, was very involved. She was actually the president of this organization before Mrs. Fisher and Mrs. Miller took over this year. So like I mentioned, I'm the vice president of this organization, and then Lindsay's also our secretary. So Canandaigua actually makes up 2/3 of our executive board over the entire state organization, which includes Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Westchester County, Long Island, and obviously New York City as well. So I think that's a really cool accomplishment that we hold the majority of that executive board. So then some more pictures. So with these conferences, we plan statewide conferences. So last year was in Syracuse. We have a few hundred kids from all over the state, as mentioned, all those population points that I mentioned before. And as well as everywhere in between, we have plenty of students that come and learn leadership skills as well as other things that they can bring back to their schools. And we also have student presenters from Canandaigua that will run workshops, and they'll also run roundtables of different ideas such as the CA Bowl, as we showed before, and also homecoming ideas we had, so that other students from all over the state can use those ideas and bring them back to their school. So some achievements of our student government this year. 2023 NYCLSA State Charity Award. So it was presented to our school for our contributions to the Special Olympics organization, since that's also our state charity for NYCLSA. And we raised money for that with things like the CA Bowl, as well as the dodgeball tournament that we hold that we'll get to later on in the presentation. I was presented with the Dale Hawley Leadership Award this year as a member of the NYCLSA Student Council, and my contributions to our school as well as our state organization. And then also Dominic Falbo, who's not here right now, was presented because he runs a social media account that I believe it's called Barstool, right? Barstool Canandaigua, and that encompasses all of our sports teams, and it also just brings our community together between athletics and other leadership. So as Mr. Farr mentioned, we were presented with the National Student Council Excellence for another year consecutively. I think we've gotten this for a few years now. And this is just for our contributions, once again, for our activities that we run in our school, and also Canandaigua's outstanding accomplishments at the state level as well.
When Jeremy says all of these activities include our Cocoa with the Popo, which we reach out to the Canandaigua City Police, and we invite them to have a quick hot drink with us and just chill for a bit at the school. We also do Shamrock Shakes. So during lunch periods, during the season of like luck and everything, we sell shamrocks and give free drinks for everyone. Not free, but think about yourself. We also have the Reasons to Love the CA. You might have seen the hearts all around the atrium that we put up for all the teachers, all the staff, and everyone there. We also do Orange Crushes during the Valentine's season for to show love to everyone in the like teachers and students, and we give them out and sell them so everyone gets a drink.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lindsay. You probably saw me coming. But another really fun thing we do that Jeremy did mention was CA Ball, formerly known as Braves Ball. But basically, teams submit $50-ish per team, 5 people, and they dress up in fun costumes and do dodgeball tournaments against each other. It's really fun. It promotes friendly competition, and it's just really fun to see all these people be so connected like this. It's really rare that we have all these people together in a gym. We do it in between seasons, like the winter and spring season, so athletes don't have any conflictions or anything. And actually, during CA Ball, we did some interviews for our social media. Wait, let me look at these pictures. Here's all of our beautiful teams. Everyone got so creative this year. Here's Alex, him and Macy, right here, Miss Logue. They worked so hard to organize this on maybe like 2-ish weeks in advance. It was really last minute, but they pulled through, and it was so much fun this year. We actually raised $550 for Special Olympics. Most of the things we do does go to Special Olympics, so gotta love Special Olympics. Yup. Okay, so as I was speaking before, I did do interviews for our Canandaigua Stugo Instagram that we have going. Dominic and I just started this year. We did have an Instagram beforehand, but it wasn't used as much, and we wanted a way to connect us with the community and just to show them what we do and hopefully have more engagement in our events, because before we didn't have much, but we did get a ton of coverage with CA ball. If you go to the next slide. We reached almost 3,000 accounts in the span of a few months that we've had the account running, which is insane. So many parents have reached out to us saying that they love seeing their kids, and we've done the interviews, we've done just so many things to help connect our community, and we've really seen a huge difference. People come up to us and just be like, I saw myself on Instagram, that's so cool. So yeah, it's a really great way to get to connect all of us.
We also have Helen here today.
Yes.
She's one of our members that also goes above and beyond.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
Great job, and again, I'll go back to the budget presentation in the first part where, you know, our students, they leave Canada was so impressive every time, and it's a process. From UPK all the way up through, it's a connection with families, community partners and everything. They just, you know, you all were just so impressive up there, and the things you do is fantastic. Jeremy, I have a question for you though. Have you gone to LA yet, or is that coming up?
I went to LA.
All right, can you briefly talk to us about what happened there?
Okay, so it was 20,000 kids from all over the world, actually. I think we had 30 countries represented. And it was a competition between individuals of varying backgrounds, obviously. And they competed in different events, which had different, objectives. So different disciplines of business, you think. You have marketing, you have personal finance, you have hospitality, tourism, and the other ones. And basically, you have your specific event that you're competing in against about 500 other students from around the world. And you have to take a 100-question multiple choice exam, as well as 2 individual case study role play presentations, which are essentially solving a problem in 10 minutes that has to do with your event, and then presenting it to a judge in another 10 minutes. And then you get a score based on that, and all 3 of your scores are compiled, and whoever wins, essentially. And I don't know if any of you know this, but I was actually the first one ever from Canandaigua to attend the international conference, and that was held in Anaheim this year. And at that conference, there were tons of different schools represented, and especially the Rochester area. But I think next year, our goal is to get more kids from Canandaigua to go, because I think we want to compete, obviously, with Victor. They had almost 30 kids. We only had 1, so we got our numbers up.
It has to start with somebody, and you started. But as you all talked, and as you talked there at the end, Jeremy, I had literally goosebumps, chills, and kind of got choked up a little bit, because this is why we do what we do. We want to help students achieve success, and you know, we just help. We're one little piece of it. It's you. It's your adults that work around you, and your families, certainly. And so thank you all so much. You're incredibly, incredibly impressive people, and you're going to do great things in this world. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. You all are welcome to stay or welcome to go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to invite Leanne Ducharme, who is our curriculum area lead teacher for counseling, to the podium. One of our requirements of our comprehensive counseling plan for the district is that we update the Board of Education on the status of our plan and bring forward any highlights to your attention, just to help us all to better understand how the plan is being organized, implemented, and utilized across the district. So Leanne, thank you for being here, and we're looking forward to your recitation. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. So each year I come and try to present and highlight a few different things that our counseling program K-12 has been working on over the calendar year. So tonight I have 3 different things that I'd like to highlight. The first one is our teen mental health first aid program that we have. I'm not sure how familiar you are with it, so I'll kind of explain it a little bit. The program is sponsored by the National Council on Mental Well-Being, and it is an evidence-based program. We provide it in our health classes. We have offered this program for the last few years to students, and what we have found is that our students, it addresses common mental health challenges that our students face. Everything from day-to-day stress from just academics. I heard talking about the APIB exams and how to sort of cope with that and things to be aware of. We're training the students on how to support their peers, right? What we know is that as adults, as educators, as parents, kids aren't always coming to us when they're stressed, they're going to each other. So this program really has allowed us to implement a structured program that is evidence-based to help students understand what those feelings are that they're feeling, how to cope with it. Each student that has gone through the training, they develop an action plan on how to help their friends, but they're also trained on when to know to involve an adult, right? Because what we don't want is our teenagers dealing with big issues on their own without the guidance of an adult to support them. So you can see here on this slide the numbers. So we started the program in 2021. We have 4 trained, because you have to be trained to offer the training, 4 trained educators, and the course is co-taught. So there's always 2 adults that are teaching the course. The program itself is set up to be a 6-day training. What we found in the first year was that some of the material is pretty heavy. And so what our teachers decided was that we're going to spread it out, which we are allowed to do. So we spread it out over 8 days just to allow for the students to ask questions and seek any support that they might need. So the first year you can see that 247 students. And then this year we had 242 students that were trained. It is, like I said, embedded in our health curriculum now. So there's a fall offering and a spring offering, since health is a half-year course. There's also a youth mental health first aid training, and that's for adults to be trained. So many of us, the social workers, the school counselors, the psychologists, that's our area and degree. But oftentimes our staff, so our teachers, our teacher aides, they're the ones sort of boots on the ground that are seeing the students every day. That so that training, that youth mental health, is really meant for them. The next thing I'd like to highlight tonight is a program that we have started. It's a co-located partnership that we have with Ontario County Mental Health. And this program is something that I feel has a lot of value. What it is we have a therapist that's through the Ontario County Mental Health who is stationed on our campus 1 day a week. So they do 1 day a week at the middle school and 1 day a week at the high school. And really the vision behind it was we were seeing a lot of students that needed some support that was beyond what we could provide in our school day. So in those cases, when things come up with students and families, we would make recommendations to refer a family outside for counseling. But we were finding that there were hurdles for some of our families, and those hurdles were that a parent might work afternoons and evenings, so couldn't get their child there for an appointment unless they took them out of the school during the day, or there were financial burdens or hurdles in the way. So by offering this service on the campus, those families can receive that service, and it's through Ontario County Mental Health, and the student would go for their counseling session during a study hall or a lunch, right? We were the first school that partnered with Ontario County, and they have now reached and expanded to Honeyway, and I think the vision is that all schools would like to have this opportunity within their districts. The struggle is that Ontario County Mental Health is not have enough providers. So they have advertised, they're trying to get more providers so that they can service the students and the families that go to their clinic, and also provide these services on the school campuses. So as they are able to hire more people, we're hoping to expand and offer more opportunity for that to occur within the school. So since January, you can see here, the middle school has 16 students and families that have participated. And this is all, we recommend it, we refer, it's family-based. So the family is educated on what the service is, and then they opt to utilize it. It's not anything that the district is sort of forcing on a student or a family, if you will. So those are the numbers for this year. The program started in February of 2022 at the middle school is where we piloted it, and they did 1 day a week. They expanded, and now some of the students who are continuing on with the provider and have moved to the high school, so now we have 1 day at the high school so that provider can continue with those students. Since the beginning of this partnership, we have approximately serviced about 74 students and families. So we have seen some growth, and if we could get another day, which I did request, I know they don't have the staff, we probably have 4 or 5 more families. Anyone who has tried to seek outside mental health support knows there are wait lists. So if eventually the county can provide us the counselor for more than 1 day, we have families that would totally utilize it. The last thing I'd like to highlight tonight is a new program that we just subscribed to. So I'm shifting gears here. So a lot of what we do within the counseling program, we do the social emotional piece, which is what I just talked about, but we also do a lot with career and college planning. So exposing students to different opportunities throughout school to help them sort of self-discover, figure out what their future goals are. So School Links is a new program that we just subscribed to. Prior to this, we utilized a program called SCORE. What we found with SCORE was it was sort of missing the mark on some of the things that we wanted for our students. And part of that was what we found in School Links is these mini assessments meet a need that we were longing for, if you will. So they're career assessments. The Find Your Path is a personality assessment. They are about 3 to 5 minutes long each, and what we're doing right now is trying to develop a scope and sequence to figure out what grade levels we want each of these assessments to fall under with our students so they can build on each other. The personality assessment, I just had a couple students do it today. It's kind of neat. It asks them to sort of self-reflect about themselves. Like, do you prefer to be with groups of people, or do you value your alone time? And each question sort of triggers the system to then at the end say what type of personality they are, what careers does that personality tend to find success and happiness with. And I throw the happiness in because you can do a job and do it well and be successful, but do you find, value and joy in it? And we think that's important. So anyways, mini assessments sort of filled a void that we had. And tomorrow, actually, I'm going to the middle school to talk to our home and careers teachers, because that's where they do a lot of this exploration. In that home and careers class, they co-teach with our counselors. So I'm gonna teach the home and careers teachers about the software program, and hopefully that can assist them with the curriculum that they provide as well for our students. Our high school counselors are right now onboarding our juniors for the college piece. So you've got the mini assessments, but then there's a whole college search component to the software program, which I have found phenomenal. You can really peel back layers if you're ever doing a college search and trying to figure out if you want a college within so many miles from Canandaigua that has a volleyball team but also has a dance team. Like, you can put all of that criteria in, and the software program will filter out for you, which is really nice. So those are the 3 programs that I wanted to highlight tonight. I mean, of course, we do a lot more than this, but for the sake of time. So at this point, does anybody have questions? Beth?
First, thank you.
Yes.
What you guys do is just so important. The Ontario County Mental Health.
Yes.
Are the costs of that absorbed by Ontario County, by the family, by the school?
Very good question. So, no, I believe it's no cost to us. So the provider that comes in, it's serviced as if you were to go outside for outside therapy. So it's the family meets with Ontario County Mental Health. They provide their health insurance information. Everything is billed through that. And so what we provide is the locations. And the location had to be certified through the state, so they had to come in. They have a site location at the high school and one at the middle school that was approved by state of New York. And in terms of that, that's to protect confidentiality, making sure it's not in like a public open space. So we had to meet those needs, but there's no cost to us.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the college tool.
Yes.
How often is the data updated, right? Because it's only as good as the most recent information.
Good question. So what we're finding, it is better than what we had, but it does have some glitches. We literally just subscribed in the last month, so we are learning. The company is out of Texas. So they import the data in terms of the college from this national organization, and we noticed some things that weren't currently updated, but the software people wouldn't know that. So for example, I had a student in my office, we were trying to find colleges that have physical therapy. Well, if you're from New York, you know Damon College is one of the best PT programs around. It wasn't coming up, and I was like confused. So we called, and they said because it leads to a PhD at Damon, it wasn't being flagged as a bachelor program, and so they were able to kind of troubleshoot that on the back end with the information that we provided. Then they went up to the website. So I believe the data is updated annually. I think it's Wells College just recently closed. That was showing up, so we had to call them and say they closed so they could take it off. So just little stuff like that, but I believe it's annually that they download that college data. Any other questions? Jen? Yes.
So the team mental health first aid.
Yes.
That's completely separate from sources of strength. It's
Yes.
more in depth than everybody would get it when they take health class.
Correct, yes. And I should mention, and maybe it was on one of the slides, I can't recall, we are looking to get some staff trained at the CACC so that we can also have the students who take health over there receive the same training. The only thing I would say is that we do have a small population of students that will opt to take health in the summer, because if they're an IB diploma student, their schedule might be so full and trying to meet that requirement. So we haven't quite figured out how to offer that to those students that would do the summer health. And again, it is part of the course, but families can opt out of it too. So it's not, Mrs. Tepedino sends out a post saying this is happening, and so if a family felt like, you know, I don't want my child to participate in that, they could opt out of those 8 days. But the summer school health is one that we're trying to sort out how we could provide the opportunity.
Any other questions for Leanne? Thank you.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, well, just going through our agenda then, we have a consensus agenda and supplemental motions. Any questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. Audit, please, Becky.
So yes, we met on Friday, and our conversation began with a pre-audit discussion with Tom Zuber, just to kind of set the stage for what is about to happen with the upcoming audit. And then we were provided an update on the fund balance projections, as well as an initial review of the reserve plan. So, and that will be coming in June.
Thank you. CIE, Jen, is that?
So we had a very, very efficient CIE meeting. The first thing we talked about was it's a pilot program that was done K-5, the Great Body Shop pilot. If I remember correctly, it is in the PE programs.
Some of it was housed in the PE program, but we had teachers piling the resources in their classrooms. But there's a lot to the resource, so they worked with PE teachers to maybe pick some of those up.
So it was one of those programs that I'm always really proud of Canada with, that they look really critically. It's not like they rubber stamp something. And they piloted these programs, a teacher in every grade participated in it, and when they got finished, they took a really hard look at it, and although it met some of the needs in the elementary school, in the primary school, they were like, A, this is really hard, and B, it's probably above what our students need, and we need to come up with something else. So we did none of it was actually asked to be approved. They're gonna go back, my understanding was, to the drawing board for the primary school. For the elementary school, they're gonna kind of keep working on it and tweaking it over the next year and see if we can find something that meets our needs. We then talked a little bit about a CIE our feedback for the next year and membership needs. And just as Chris Vantine was telling us about the update to professional development, we lost all the power. So we talked very quickly. And of course, she told us about all of the great opportunities and the fact that although we have a superintendent's day in March, many of our teachers took advantage of programs that were throughout the year before and after that. And then we all went home. In the dark. It wasn't dark yet, but.
Thank you.
Just, I feel like I wasn't explicit enough. Mrs. Fisher and Mrs. Miller, thank you for being the advisors for student government. I mentioned it, but I don't know if you all heard me, so all of that doesn't happen without your guidance and support and your principal, Mrs. Logue, so I wanted to make sure I also mentioned that explicitly.
One thing I should have asked them, but I mentioned to Karen, are they all seniors? She said they're all sophomores.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's really
That's a
good.
good point, yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, John, thanks for sharing that. Impressive.
All right, then we'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Jenny and Jen, all in favor? May 21st, big day, everybody. Don't forget to vote. Thank you, good night, everyone.